Hello, Katie teacher.
Hi, Gaon. Sorry. Okay, let's open our book back up and we are going to review your worksheet. I like your little ears. Those are cute.
My ears are here.
Wow, there they were.
Um, I didn't have space, so I wrote it in here.
Oh, that's okay. That's totally fine, right? Because you don't have to send the worksheet back to me because we will just go over the answers. So like, we'll pull the worksheet up, right? And then I'll ask the question that was on the worksheet, and then you just answer what you wrote down for me, you know? And then you could show me. So it can be written on a different page. It doesn't have to be on that worksheet. All right. So that's totally fine. I loved your answer for the last one. It was hilarious. I thought it was very cute. Since they sent the answer sheet back to me, and I was able to check it, and all of it was very correct, by the way. It was very good. We don't really need to go over the worksheet today, but that's typically how the classes will go, is that I'm thinking the first day we can read maybe one or two chapters, and then I send you 2 worksheets, right? And you work on those, and then we discuss them and talk about the book the next class. All right. So, yeah. So let's get into our second chapter and see if your prediction, right, was correct. Okay. Here we go. Go ahead and start reading for me, please.
Drake dove away from the door. The fireball just missed him. Vulcan, stand down. He heard someone yell. Drake stood up. A red-haired girl was standing in the doorway. No more fireballs, she yelled at the dragon. He has shiny red scales and a long thick tail. 2 big wings grew out of his back. Dragons aren't real, thought Drake, but Drake could see the dragon, and he had felt the heat from the fireball. A tall man walked past the girl. He had a long white beard. He wore a pointy hat and a dark green robe. Welcome, Drake, the man said. I am Griffin, the king's wizard. Did he say wizard? Drake had so many questions. Is that a dragon? He asked. He's not just a dragon, said the girl. He's my dragon. Vulcan is the best dragon in the kingdom.
Very good. So, was your prediction correct?
No.
No, but that's okay, because we did not have all of the information, and we just met the dragon, and the chapter ended on what we like to call a cliffhanger. So it keeps you dangling on the edge of anticipation and suspense, and makes you wonder, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? And you don't know, because they don't give you any information. And that is why it is a cliffhanger. It's just like very like, oh no, will I fall? Will I live? Will someone reach and catch me? I'm hanging on the edge here. Oh. And so it makes you very excited to know what is going to happen next, but it also makes it really difficult to anticipate or think of or predict what is going to happen next. And that is why they use cliffhangers so often in books and TV shows and movies that are more than one in a series, right? So that's okay. The important thing is you used full sentences and your descriptions were so funny. So so I had a good chuckle. Both me and Miss Linda looked at your worksheet and we were like, she's awesome. So I love how creative you are. All right. So down here, just a couple of pointers. When we are reading out loud, remember that when we italicize our words, right, they are either saved for internal monologue, right, for thoughts, or when we want to put emphasis on something that we are speaking out loud. So down here, he's italicized his words, like because it's Drake's inner monologue, right? But down here, this girl, who we will be introduced to in a second, she has A is italicized, right? Because she's saying he's not just a dragon. So she's emphasizing the word A. It's like she's trying to tell him he's not just any dragon. He's not just a dragon. Like he belongs to someone. He's not some random dragon, right? And then she goes down again to emphasize my. So he's like, he's not just a dragon. He's my dragon. Vulcan is the best dragon in the kingdom. So she puts emphasis on the parts that are italicized. All right. Okay. So far, so good though, Colin. Okay, here we go.
Drake, meet Rory, Griffin said. Rory, please take Vulcan away. Tell the others I'll be there shortly. Others, Drake thought. The girl sighed. Fine, let's go, Vulcan. She led the dragon away. Then the wizard led Drake down a dark hall. Why am I here, sir? Drake asked. Griffin didn't answer. He stopped in the front of the door. Griffin pointed at its big brass lock. Sparks flew from his finger. The lock opened. Drake's eyes grew wide. Wizard magic, he thought.
Yes.
He followed Griffin into a room piled high with strange things. He saw bottles filled with colorful waters and powders. Griffin picked up a wooden box. The box was carved with pictures of dragons.
Very good.
This is why you are here, he said, opening the box.
All right. So we were introduced to that girl. What is her name?
Rory.
Good. Yes. And then we have this tall, kindly looking wizard, right? He's like, how would he age? And what's his name?
Griffin.
Good.
Drake peered inside. A green stone as big as his head glittered in the light. This dragon stone told me you have the heart of a dragon, said the wizard. He tapped Drake's chest. It did. Drake asked. His eyes got big. Yes, and those with the heart of a dragon become dragon masters for King Roland, Griffin said. Drake had heard stories about the magical dragon stone, but he had never believed they were real. Now all his questions came spilling out. How does this stone know I have the heart of a dragon? And how did you find me? And what's a dragon master? And why does King Roland want dragon masters? The stone is old and mysterious, Griffin said. Even I do not fully understand its magic. A dragon master is able to connect with dragons As for the king, he is very fond of dragons, but he cannot control them. So
Mhm.
Vulcan isn't the only dragon, Drake asked. The wizard grinned. No, he is not. He handed Drake a green stone of gold chain. This is a piece of dragonstone. He said it will help you connect with your dragon.
Good. Very good. I, I love how you go back and you correct yourself if you think that you mispronounced it. And the pace of your reading is really good. Down here, we still, last time we talked about ellipses and how they are a long pause, right? So when they come up and we are reading out loud, or even when we are reading it inside our head and thinking to ourselves, right? It goes, as for the king, he is very fond of dragons, right? So it's a count in, it's almost like inside of your head, you count 1, 2, 3, and then you talk. Okay. Now, awesome. Good job so far. You're doing excellent.
Drake's heart jumped. My dragon? I get a dragon, he thought. He slipped the stone into his pocket. Be careful, Drake, the wizard warned. Dragons are dangerous, and even the dragon stone can't protect you from their powers. What powers? Drake asked. The wizard led him away without another word.
Yes. All right. And then we are getting into chapter 3. We started off a little slow because it was your first class last time. But again, each class, I think we're going to do 2 chapters, and then you'll have 2 worksheets. And then the next class, like today's class, we will use for discussion. So today, I think we'll just reverse that, since today we're going to be doing 2 chapters. I think on Sunday, your Sunday classes, right? It's going to be, you get the 2 chapters, and then on Wednesday we discuss about them. All right. Okay, so I'm going to have you read chapter 3 also, because we're doing chapter 2. Oh, sorry. My finger's out of frame. Chapter 2 and then chapter 3. Hey.
Drake's mind was spinning as he left the wizard workshop. He followed Griffin to a big underground room. There were no windows. Torches hung on the walls. Drake saw Rory and Vulcan. He also saw 2 more kids and 2 more dragons.
Yes.
Drake, this is Bo, Griffin said, pointing to a boy with black hair and his dragon shoe. Bo was petting his dragon's tail. This dragon had shiny blue scales, but no wings. Hi, Drake said. Nice to meet you, Drake, the boy said politely. Griffin led Drake over to a girl with long black hair. Her dragon has white scales. A yellow band of scales curled the dragon's neck. The tips of its...
1 second, pause. This word is circled. That C is pronounced like an S because it is followed by an I instead of it being pronounced like a K. Okay.
Circled the dragon's neck. The tips of its wings were yellow too. This is Anna and her dragon Capri.
Very good.
Griffin said. Drake nodded. Hi, he said. We could use somebody new around here, Anna said with a grin. You have met the other dragon masters and their dragons. It is time for you to meet your dragon, Griffin said. Drake's heart pounded. My family will never believe this, he thought. Just this morning I was digging onions. Now I have ridden a horse. I met a wizard. I've seen the dragon stone, and I'm going to have my very own dragon.
Yes. Oh, very good with like the reading of his inner monologue, because he does sound like slightly panicked, doesn't he? Right? He's just very confused, but also excited. He's almost like he's thinking, OMG, OMG, like, oh my God, oh my God, the entire time that he's talking. And you read that out loud very well.
He and the other dragon masters followed Griffin down another dark hallway.
Mhm.
The dragons sleep in caves when they are not training, will explain as they walked. Vulcan's cave is the biggest, bragged Rory. Griffin stopped in front of a small cave with bars covered the cave. Drake, meet your dragon, the wizard said.
Yes. All right. And that ends chapter 3. So let's go backwards some. So we have been introduced to several new characters, right? We've been introduced to 4 new characters. Do you remember what their names are?
Rory, Bo, Anna,
Mm-hmm.
and Griffin.
Yes. And then we have been introduced to 2 new dragons. Or sorry, 3, because we were introduced to it, but we did not get its name. So what are the names of the 3 dragons and who do they belong to?
Vulcan belonged to Rory,
Mm-hmm.
and Shu belonged to Bo,
Good.
and Capri
Mm-hmm.
belongs to Anna.
Very good. Yes. Excellent. All right. Let's see. Typically, all of the worksheets are going to look about the same. Let's do a little bit of discussion right now, right, for the last bit of our class about what kind of dragon you think do you think that Drake is going to have, and what kind of powers you think the dragon might end up with.
Mm. Mhm.
So we have lots of cool different here. We'll go back to the page that shows the descriptions of the dragons, right? So we saw Rory's dragon. He is a typical Western
Fire?
style dragon. Yeah, and he has fire. Okay. Now, we were not introduced to the powers that the other dragons have, but we can kind of assume or figure out from which region or which type of mythical dragon they are based on the world. So Asian dragons, they typically do not shoot fire. What do they normally shoot out of their mouth?
Water?
Correct. Yes, they typically shoot water. And so that is a good assumption. And we will confirm our assumptions later on once we read more of the chapters. But that is a good guess because, yes, typically Asian dragons shoot out water. Now, we can assume by his name, Bo is probably Chinese. His dragon is probably also Chinese, right? Or they are of Asian origin. And you could tell from the illustrations too. And down here, where do you think that Kepri and Anna are from?
Um,
Think if you look at the eyes and the makeup
India?
and that very close, it's very close regionally, yes. But we're going to go a little more to the west. Think
Mm,
pyramids and pharaohs and mummies.
mm,
And it's okay if you haven't gotten in depth into geography yet. That is the cool thing about these books, is that they will go through and give you a lot of fun geographical sort of information, a lot of cool mythological information as it pertains to different regions of the world. You get to learn lots of cool different things with these books. That's why I like them so much. Plus, dragons are just cool, right? So and it's kids in the book, and they go on all sorts of awesome adventures. Who doesn't want to go on awesome adventures with dragons as a kid? I wish I could have gone on cool adventures with a dragon when I was like a kid, you know? That'd be awesome. So Kepri down here and Anna are from a Middle Eastern region, most likely somewhere around Egypt or something Egyptian like. Okay. So Egyptian, Mesopotamian, something of that nature. Now, these are fictional books, so they do not give specific locations for where all of these characters and animals come from, but we can kind of align them with places that exist in the real world, right? So she looks like she has feathers and she's white. And if she doesn't shoot fire and she doesn't shoot water, because, you know, the king values lots of different types of dragons, which means they'll probably all be different from each other. So again, if Rory's dragon Vulcan shoots fire and Bo's dragon Shu shoots water, what do you think Kepri is going to do?
light. Spit out light.
Light is a good, yes, that is a good thought. Yes. Especially as a lot of their powers are tied to things that are in abundance in their region. So it would make sense that they have those sort of powers. So let's see. I'll give you a little preview. This right here, as you can see, this is Drake's dragon. Okay.
Worm.
Yes, his name is Worm. And I'm going to let you read chapter 4 on your own at home. How about that?
I already read everything.
You read the whole book, so you already know. That's okay. If you've gone through and you've read the whole book, then if you're that advanced and whatnot, we can just let's set up our classes this way then instead. You can read the entire book, right? Start to finish, right? Then I think let's do some practice reading for a couple of the chapters, right? We'll pick some random chapters and we'll do some practice reading. And I will give you worksheets that you can work on for, I think instead of giving you the individual worksheets that I have for each chapter for some of my lower level classes, I will just have you write a book summary and assessment, I think, instead. And then we'll talk about it. And so let's do you have all of the books in the series? How many of the books do you have?
Outside.
You do? Okay. So then let's do one book each week. How does that sound? Because you are just like, you are so accelerated and you are
Number
so
3.
awesome at reading. You're on book 3 already?
No. I'm reading book number 2.
Oh, okay. So then so then let's use the last 4 minutes of our class then to discuss what you thought of book one. What were some things you liked about it and some things that you didn't?
I didn't like Rory Drag.
Me neither. She is very like full of herself, isn't she? Yes. Yeah, because as we go through, like, poor Worm, how does he look when we first meet him?
Weak.
Yeah, he just looks weak and sad and lonely, right? But Drake connects with him and they have a bond, right? What happens to his stone?
It
Do you remember?
glows.
Yeah, it started glowing and now he can communicate, right, with his dragon. But
Noodlehead.
yeah, Rory wants to call him Noodlehead. Oh no, Anna wants to call him Noodlehead. But Bo, being the nice guy that he is, sticks up for his new friend Drake. He says, no, this dragon needs a good name, right? So they go through, they give him a good name, right? I think it's a good name. He calls him a worm. They go to the training room, right? They all shoot their powers. I love, love that Kepri can shoot rainbows. So you were not wrong when you said a beam of light came out. And it's like, beam of light comes out, it hits the water droplets, it makes a rainbow. I think it's so cool that she can do stuff like that when they combine their powers together. Right? Whose dragon did you like the best in book one?
Kepri.
You liked Kepri the best? All right. Yeah, Kepri seems like a really cool dragon. All right. And it's nice that Bo and Drake became friends, right? What do you think of, let's see, as we go further here, do you think that his letters are getting to his parents? Do you remember? Yeah, we went too far. They are sending his letters, but they're reading them first, right? To make sure that he's not telling his family any secrets. So his letters are taking a little bit longer than he thought to get to his parents. There are some things that we can learn, right, by doing what we call reading between the lines. So it is not outwardly said in the book, but based on other things that happen in the book, we can kind of tell what other things are happening that they don't tell us directly about. Okay. So there's lots of emotions that we can pick up from the story about how the characters feel about each other, right? You get the impression here that King Roland is not as nice as we are initially led to believe, right? Now, he seems like he's a nice guy and he takes care of the kids and he, gives them a better life and this and that. But at the same time, he is also trapping dragons. Maybe those dragons don't want to be there on their own. Maybe they don't want to live in the castle with King Roland. And he didn't ask if Drake wanted to go to the castle, did he? No. So even though Drake does have a nice full belly and he has a nice warm place to sleep, right? he didn't have any say in that either. As we saw at the very beginning of the book, our phrase, whether I wanted to or not, right? He has no choice. Whether he stays on his farm or he's there in the castle training the dragons, he still has no choice. King Roland has made this choice for him. And King Roland really likes the dragons, right? But I think he likes them for the wrong reasons. And as we read the more and more of the books, we will find out more about our characters and what kind of people they actually are, right? And all of the interesting character interactions that happen in the story. So I am going to let you read book 2 completely, right? And then we're going to do some reading practice from book 2 next class. And then I'm going to give you a different type of worksheet. I'll make one for you. So I'll give you the worksheet after the class is over, or I'll send it to Miss Linda and she'll send it to you, is how that will happen. And it will be more of like a book assessment sort of worksheet, okay? I'll have some vocabulary words in there, but mostly it will be questions about the entire book. And then, so the front side will be question and answer vocabulary. The back side of the worksheet, if you have the space for it, or if you want to write it on somewhere else, will be for a page length summary, which means 5 paragraphs. Okay. Yeah. So like if you were writing a small book report, like a small report is typically you have your opening statement paragraph, and then you have your 3 paragraphs where you list off different ideas in the book, right? You have your main idea and then supporting idea, and then your closing paragraph. And each paragraph is about 3 to 5 sentences long. All right. And we'll start getting into how to do creative writing papers. All right. Okay. So class is over for today. Let me stop share. And you enjoy your book, right? And then we will work on it on our class on Wednesday. Or I guess it's still Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday morning for me, but it's Wednesday evening for you. So, all right. Thank you for class
Bye,
today.
Katie teacher.
Bye, Gaon.